Captured. White Wolf, Volume 9. Written by K. Matthew. Narrated by Hunter Millbrook. Captured. It had been a week since the full moon, and with Richard showing no further signs of being the White Wolf, things seemed to be returning to normal. He had successfully integrated into the pack, though his place in the hierarchy still wasn't distinguished. Samuel insisted that Richard was the new Omega, yet the men continued to pick on Samuel as if nothing had changed, suggesting that his assumption was incorrect. Still, Richard's tie to the pack wasn't strong, and if it wasn't for his need to keep the peace, he might have been tempted to stray completely. Adjusting to pack life was still a day-to-day challenge. Richard discovered that it was customary for two men to stay behind at the den at all times. This was not only to protect it, but also to give the men days off from the laborious tasks of hunting and foraging. There was never a shortage of work to be done, though, between dishes and laundry and sharpening weapons and chopping firewood. Today, it was Richard and Orion's turn to stay at the den. Orion collected the dishes and Richard gathered the laundry to head down to the river. It was Richard's favorite chore because it gave him a chance to bathe and relax for a bit. This time was particularly more exciting because he'd have the beta at his side. Richard had craved Orion's touch ever since the wolf virus had been implanted in him, but he had been told he would forever be denied it. The only sexual contact they had had was at his shift, and a quick blowjob wasn't enough to satiate Richard's desire for him. He watched Orion out of his peripheral vision, admiring the gleam of small water droplets that dotted his arms from his careless splashing. Richard was washing clothes only a few feet away, but he couldn't stay concentrated on the task at hand. With an entire day spent together, it was the perfect opportunity to seduce the beta. "Do you think I'm the White Wolf?" Richard broke the silence. "I don't know," came the plain response. Richard had noticed ever since his first shift that Orion hadn't looked at him the same. In fact, all the men looked at him differently, though Richard wasn't entirely sure if it was because he was now one of them or because they still all suspected he was the White Wolf. Surely he was no Omega. No one had even tried to pick on him since his shift, except for Samuel, and it didn't work out too well. "Tell me more about this White Wolf," Richard requested. "There's not much else to tell that you haven't already heard. You said that he has to mate constantly to survive, and that he is pretty much the ultimate alpha. Does that mean that all other wolves are naturally attracted to him?" This question caught Orion off guard. He paused as he hesitantly answered, "Yes." A mischievous grin crossed Richard's face, and he could do nothing to hide it from the beta. Luckily, Orion seemed more focused on his chores than anything else. Always the good little soldier. If there was any better time to test Richard's sexual prowess as the White Wolf, he couldn't think of it. Playfully, he splashed at Orion. "Stop it!" the beta barked at him. "Loosen up, jeez," Richard recoiled. Maybe he wasn't the White Wolf after all. "I just want to get this done, get bathed, and get back to the den." Orion seemed suddenly tense. "Fine." When they were done with their chores, both men disrobed to step into the cool water. Richard could have sworn he saw Orion staring at him from the corner of his eye, but it could have just been his imagination playing tricks with his desire. The two men bathed themselves in silence. While everything in Richard wanted to try to engage Orion in some act of horsing around, the beta seemed all business. It made for a rather boring day.